Welcome back to All Esteem, where we search for that hidden manna, those pearly gates. I'm your host, Dottie, on the mic. Wait till you get a load of all this good manna, this hidden manna I found since the last time we spoke. We're going to finish Micah. This is the last chapter. We read 5 and 6 last session. I found so much, my family, my mish, that will explain everything that's going on in the world to you if your ears are on and your eyes are open and you are searching for the Most High and His righteousness humbly. We're going to read this last chapter, but then we're going to read some Nahum, like I showed you last time. I forgot to show you this verse, though, just another sneak peek so you can see what we're about to read about in Nahum. Look what it says in verse 1 of chapter 3. Woe to the city of blood. All of it is a lie, filled with plunder. The prey is not lacking. And let me show you something fun that I was looking at this morning. I know before I showed you how a lot of the chapters in the prophets that are numbered 23 and 24 are all about what we're talking about, but in reality, the whole Bible is talking about the same thing. But if you just go, for those of you who've been around here for a while, you know the significance of the number 42. They've been using it. Title 42, Gate 42. And we see it all over in the Word, the 42 months, and it's all about the end, and it's about coming home. Well, if you just go to any book you want pretty much and type in chapter 4, verse 2, it's like, I'll put it this way, it'll reveal the message to you. Watch Proverbs chapter 2 or chapter 4 verse 2. For I gave you good instruction, do not forsake the Torah. We've been learning the instruction. It's all about the city. And this whole chapter right here, because we went through this whole chapter of 4 is about the city. It's about the wife of our youth. If you go to Revelations chapter 4 verse 2. And immediately I came to be in the Spirit and saw a throne set in the heaven, and the one sat on the throne, and he who sat on there was like a jasper. A jasper, we know. And look, there's 24 elders, 24 and 42. It's the same number, just a mirror image of one another. 24 elders. And the numbers 42 and 24 are used all through the Word. And this here, it says jasper and ruby. It's talking about the house. It's talking about the throne. Look at Zechariah chapter 4, verse 2. And he said to me, what do you see? So I said, I have looked and see a lampstand all of gold. There's the golden lampstand, full of the golden oil. And what that is the word about the throne that will lead you back to the throne. That's what this is all about. That's what the two witnesses, the two olive branches, are talking about. But you can go to any book you want. Go to Isaiah chapter 4, verse 2. In that day the branch of Yahuwah shall be splendid and esteemed, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for the escaped ones of Yasharal. And here's more proof that this is all riddles. And you need to understand all this riddle. The word comely, he uses it when he's talking about the house, our comely home, our comely house. That's a code word for you to understand what he's talking about. That's this hidden manna. The fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely. That means they'll be home. The first fruits, they come into the storehouse. The escaped ones of Yasharal. That's why right here in verse 3 it says, and it shall be that he who is left in Sion and he who remains in Jerusalem is called set apart. Everyone who is written among the living in Jerusalem. There's more confirming, concrete evidence, proof that backs up what I've been claiming about the land of the living, the land of the dead. All those who are not in Jerusalem at the end, and who hasn't done like this word's told us to do, to follow the Lamb, whoever ain't in Jerusalem in the time of the end, now that this word has been made manifest, we're understanding it now because we're in the latter days. Whoever doesn't do that, they're dead. They're those dry bones living in the land of the dead. Whoever is in Jerusalem, they're among the living. Go to Jeremiah chapter 4. Verse 2. And shall swear as Yahuwah lives in truth and right ruling and in righteousness, then nations shall bless themselves in him, and they shall boast in him. How has the word, the Most High has told us how the nations will bless themselves in the Most High in the end, in that day. They'll do it by coming to Jerusalem. See? All about Jerusalem. Declare in Yehuda, and let it be heard in Jerusalem, and say, blow a shofar in the land, cry aloud, and say, gather yourselves, and let us go into the walled city. Lift up the banner towards Sion. Ezekiel 4, verse 2. And lay siege against it, and build a siege wall against it, and heap up a mound against it, and set camps against it, and place battering rams against it all around. What do you think he's talking about? He's talking about the city. What did we see in the last video? The voice of the Most High cries to the city. Exodus 4, verse 2. This is the best one. And Yahuwah said to him, what is that in your hand? And he said, a rod. Hear the rod and him who appointed it, my Mishpachah. Come home. All right, let's get back to Micah now and finish this, and you're going to see, watch this, what Micah says in the last chapter. And what we're going to dip into a little bit of Nahum. Watch what it says. Woe to me, for I am as gatherings of summer fruit, as gleanings of the grape harvest. There is no cluster to eat. My being has desired the first ripe fruit. This is the Most High talking. He's told us to bring the first fruits into the storehouse. That's why the Messiah, when he talked about the rain, he called it the vineyard. The rain shall be likened unto a vineyard. And it's the fruit, the good fruit, Any tree not bearing good fruit is going to be hewn down. Right now, he's saying he's desiring the first the ripened cluster. That's his desire, but the lovingly committed one has perished from the earth. Can we positively confirm that could be that is what's happening today? That we're living in a day and time that is happening? Can we confirm that? Yeah. Do you know anybody that's going in and going out? That's returning to the place the Most High placed his name on the appointed times, taking their inheritance, being lovingly committed? No. There's no one straight among men. All of them lie in wait for blood. Everyone hunts his brother with a net. With a net. That net. You're going to read about it right here. Both hands are on the evil to do it well. What's he talking about? What's the evil? The prince asks for gifts. That's the holidays. That's what he's talking about. And the judge seeks a bribe. The judge is anyone who's handling the word, who should be judging situations rightly for the children of the Most High. They claim to judge situations rightly for the children. They claim to shepherd the children of the Most High. And man, how many of those wannabe so-called shepherds do we have? Lots of them, don't we? But they are all for sale. They'll tickle your ear for a price. Because when this message is brought up, they shun it because it's going to cost them something. They don't speak about it in the churches because it'll cost them. That's that merchandise. And it's brought about, it's caused the great men who could be great men of valor, of honor. It causes them to speak only of the desire of their being. Because if you mention going in and going out, they rebuke that because it involves them, and it would involve them of letting go of something that they esteem more. They wouldn't tell you that, but they do, because they're not willing to let go of it. It's all about pride and them calling the shots and material possessions. And they weave it together like a web. That's why it says the best of them is like a prickly plant. The most straight is sharper than a thorn hedge. Here's where you have to have your Berean boots on. You have to have them on in every verse, but right here's more proof of that. You have to understand what these code words mean. You have to understand what the thorn hedge and the prickly plant means. It means, he uses that when he talks about what has covered the road, covered the gate to your comely house. It's the thorns and the prickly plants and the forest. And there's a bunch of words he uses, but if you think about it, even the best of these people who are good people, and they've thrown down Babylon, they're doing the right thing, but even them, they stand at the gate and they keep people from coming to the gate, coming to the true set apart place. That's why he says, the day of your watchman and your punishment has come. Now is their confusion. They're confused about the land, about the house, about coming in, coming out. Trust no friend, rely on no companion. Guard the doors of your mouth from her who lies in your bosom. For son is despising father, daughter rises up against her mother, daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. The enemies of a man are the men of his own house. No one is coming to their deliverance. The whole world. If you do this, you'll be going against the grain 100%. As for me, I look to Yahuwah. I wait for the mighty Most High of my deliverance. My mighty Most High does hear me. Do not rejoice over me, O my enemy. When I have fallen, I have risen. When I sit in darkness, Yahuwah is a light to me. I bear the displeasure of Yahuwah, for I have sinned against him until he pleads my case, and shall execute right ruling for me until he brings me out into the light, and I look on his righteousness. Reminds me of all the times we've heard how he brings us out into a wide place, into a peaceful, pleasant place. And let my enemy see it, and let shame cover her who said to me, where is Yahuwah your mighty Most High? Let my eyes look on her. Now she is trampled down like mud in the streets. How many of you think he's talking about his ex who bitched him out and told him, where is your mighty Most High? Well, I'm here to inform you that's not the case. He's talking about that city of blood, the whore of Babylon, the mistress of rains. Because those words, trampled down like mud in the streets, those are code words letting you know that he's talking about the image of the beast, the imposter, Isis, Ra'el. That's why in verse 11, he goes right to the day for building your walls. Let the law go far and wide in that day. What's the law? What is the law? To build the walls, to come in and come out. That day when they come to you, see, I ain't BSing you, my friends. The law is when you come that day from Ashur and the besieged cities of Mitzrayim. There's more proof to let you know that it's probably going to be people that are in the land of North America, because that's where Ashur and Egypt, the true Mitzrayim, was. And from the siege to the river, from sea to shining sea, baby, and mountain to mountain. But the earth shall become a waste because of those who dwell in it, for the fruit of their deeds. The fruit of their deeds. They didn't come home. They followed after Baal, whether they knowed it or not. Even if you give up all the holidays and you denounce all the names of blasphemy, which are all great things, please do that and promote doing that. But if you don't come in or come out, you followed the way of Baal, of all that, of Ahab, of Omri. We've read about it. We know all about it. We know that if you don't come to Jerusalem on the appointed times to be at your dad's house, you follow the laws and the works of another. That's why he says, shepherd your people with your rod, the flock of your inheritance, who dwell alone in a forest in the midst of Carmel. Let them feed in Bashan and Gilad as in days of old, as in days of old, as in the days when you came out of the land of Mitzrayim. I shall let him see wonders. And I've seen so many, and I've documented so much of it right here on this channel and my backup channel, All Honor. Let the nations see and be ashamed of their might. Let them put their hand over their mouth. Let their ears be deaf. Is that happening right now? Yeah. No one's speaking about this. No one can hear it. No one can see it because their pride stands in the way. Let them lick the dust like a serpent. Let them come trembling from their strongholds like snakes of the earth. Let them be afraid of Yahuwah, our mighty Most High, and fear because of you. Who is a mighty one like you, taking away crookedness and passing over, wink, wink, the transgression of the remnant of his inheritance? He shall not retain his wrath forever, for he himself delights in loving commitment. That right there, that last part lets you know how you escape the wrath of Abba Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful Creator, our righteousness. You have to be lovingly committed. And you can't change the definition for the words. If you're not in Yerushalayim at the appointed times, you were not lovingly committed. Bottom line. He shall turn back, he shall have compassion on us, he shall trample upon our crookednesses, and you throw all our sins into the depths of the sea. That's why I've been telling you, it don't matter what you've done. Don't even think about the crimes you've committed, the sin, the transgression you've committed, or where you are, or who you are, what you have in your pocket. Just come to him. Come as you are. You give truth to Jacob, loving commitment to Abraham, which you swore to your fathers from the days of old. Come and sit down with your fathers in the kingdom. Nahum 1, verse 1, the message concerning Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. Yahuwah is a jealous and revenging mighty one. Yahuwah is a revenger and a possessor of wrath. Yahuwah takes vengeance on his adversaries, and he watches for his enemies. Yahuwah is patient and great in power, but by no means leaves unpunished. Yahuwah has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He is rebuking the sea and dries it up, and all the floods he has made dry. Bashan and Carmel are withering, and the flower of Lebanon is languishing. Mountains have shaken before him, and the hills have melted, and the earth is lifted up at his presence, and the world and all who dwell on it. Who does stand before his rage? Why has he asked us that? Could anyone stand if he was enraged with them to destroy them? No. But in this day of wrath, there are those who can stand in the presence of his coming, but only by reading his word, searching it diligently, trembling over it. It's the only way. And who rises up in the heat of his displeasure? His wrath is poured out like fire, and the rocks have been broken by him. Yahuwah is good as a stronghold in the day of distress. We're in the day of distress. Yerushalayim is in distress. It's been so long since his children, the Most High's children, were in Yerushalayim doing that which is continual, that his children have completely forgotten where it even is. And the place they do think it is, if they think of it at all, isn't the true location. It's not the return. It's the image of the beast, the abomination that lays waste. But with an overwhelming flood, he makes a complete end of the place of Nineveh. The darkness does pursue his enemies. What do you plot against Yahuwah? He makes a complete end of it. Distress does not rise up a second time. A second time, wink, wink. We're going to take joy in our portion a second time. There'll be no more distress. That's how you know that that place over there, that return is incorrect. It's invalid. Because when we return, when the children of the Most High return to their land, and the state, that nation, those people are established, it's the end. There is no more distress. And as far as I can see, it's distressing out here. Though they are as entangled thorns, see, and as drunkards with their drink, they shall be consumed like stubble, thoroughly dried. From you came forth one who plots evil against Yahuwah, a counselor of Baal. Thus said Yahuwah, though they are strong and many, even so they shall be cut off and pass away. Though I have afflicted you, I afflict you no more. Yerushalayim. So now I break his yoke from you and tear off your shackles. And Yahuwah has commanded concerning you, your name shall no longer be sown. From the house of your mighty ones I shall cut off the carved image and the molded image. I shall appoint your burial site, for you have been of no account. He's talking about the image of the beast. See. When he says see, he wants you to open your eyes. Here. See on the mountains the feet of him who brings good news. You're seeing it right now. You're hearing that right here on All Esteem. I'm proclaiming the peace to Yehuda. I've been telling you, celebrate your festivals, perform your vows, come in, come out, be blessed. And Belial, Baal, all that crap will no longer pass through you. It'll be completely cut off. Hallelujah, Yahuwah. All honor, all praise, all glory, and all esteem to Abba Yahuwah, the one and only, the Most High, our wonderful Creator, our righteousness.